What is going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of the 5-1 Formation podcast. This is the season finale, guys, episode 38.
Yes, sir.
Cheers, boys. Cheers, boys.
More life.
More
Cheers,
games, more finals. And yeah, season finale, what a way to end it off with the Champions League finale game with Bayern Munich and PSG. So, Bayern Munich winning 1-0 over PSG. Congratulations to the Bavarian Giants, the German killers. They've done an amazing job, not only winning the Champions League, but also winning the treble. Score of 1-0. Kingsley Coman getting on the score sheet for Bayern.
Mm-hmm.
And
who started for the first time over Perisic,
but
because he was the one starting in the quarters, semis. And Coleman got the start this game.
Yeah, good game overall.
Yep.
I really enjoyed watching it with you guys, and I think this is the first time we watched a game all together.
No, we had to. It was the Champions League
Yeah.
final, bro.
It was pretty cool.
You got to make time for shit like that.
Yeah, for sure. So honestly,
Bigger than the Super Bowl.
Oh, shit.
What were you gonna say, George?
I don't even know, but very entertaining game. A lot of back and forth.
Yep.
A little disappointing on PSG side with Neymar and Mbappe not really showing up. But kudos to fucking Bayern Munich pulling the trigger and getting it done.
We called it before the Champions League even restarted. We said Bayern Munich is looking like a team to beat. And they proved it this year, getting the treble.
Yep.
So definitely merited. They deserved it. And it wasn't an easy opponent in the finals.
Yep.
PSG, tough team.
Just to kind of piggyback off what you're saying is that when the COVID had happened and then they said they were going to take a break from football, I was one of the ones that was kind of worried and said if their break is too long, I don't know how their form is going to be when they came back.
Come back, yeah.
But man, Flick had them ready, and he is the first person we should be mentioning when we're congratulating them.
Yep.
Because it really is Flick who turned this team around, and
100%,
man. Congratulations to him and the entire squad. It was an amazing
Should
feat.
we mention what position Bayern were in
Go for it.
before?
Go for it.
They were 7th at one point.
Yeah.
At one point in the season, they were 7th
They
place
were 7th.
So-
in Bundesliga, which is crazy.
Before January.
Yeah, so just to rewind just a little bit, Hansi Flick took the team over in November after getting murked by Stuttgart, I think, 5-1. He took the team over, and they were sitting 4th. Since he's taken over, they have played 36 games, and he has won 33 of them. Well,
Insane.
not he, but him and Bayern Munich, the team,
Unreal,
obviously. Winning the Bundesliga, the DFB Cup, and now the Champions League final. There's no other thing to say. This is what you hire a manager for. This is pure excellence at its finest. They are the team to beat, and they are the champions of Europe.
Yep.
And this was for Flick anyways, because he was the assistant, right?
Yeah.
So this was supposed to be just like Flick was supposed to be like a patch in
Band-Aid.
the wound, right? Until they figured out who they were going to hire. But then they saw the results week after week, and they're like, screw it. We're sticking with you, buddy.
Do you remember when we were saying that, Borussia Dortmund actually have a chance now of winning the title?
Yep.
You know, and kind of like getting away with it because of how poorly Bayern were playing and were starting off. But man, they completely 180 this team, and ever since they were going up, it's just been up. It's skyrocketing.
That told me more that the players didn't want to play for Kovac. The second Flick came in, changed the entire game.
Yep.
It's two different styles of play, right? Kovac was on the more defensive side, which with that team, like, what are you doing?
You can't.
And Flick he used his tools to his advantage, right? He utilized everybody. Whoever was having a tough time on the pitch, he helped them. So no other words to say. He's just outstanding, Flick.
Yep,
And he's
100%.
proven to be a manager.
A top flight manager.
Yeah.
100%.
Very
Not just an
deserving.
assistant.
Yeah.
So,
It's not easy to win the treble, man.
fuck no.
You know,
It was,
it's,
sorry to cut you off. It was literally like almost mission impossible for them.
Well, that's why he turned, like you guys mentioned, he turned that team around. He turned the morale around, the dynamic. He utilized the players that he had to his advantage, the depth that they had to his advantage. Because honestly, on paper, the players that they have on their team, the way they were playing at the beginning of this season, was horribly depressing, and would have been a real heartbreaker for them to see them fucking end off the season like that. And they went undefeated in 2020 because of him and the players who were determined, and they realized, we have a fucking sick team. Yeah. Let's go through it all the way till the end. Yep. And we did. We called it very early. I mean, I did at least, that they were going to win it all. Yeah. And kudos to him. Kudos to the experienced guys too, leading the way. Lewandowski and Muller and company. So it was honestly, it's a sick story, bro. It's honestly a crazy, not Cinderella story, but it was a real turnaround of a season.
You could kind of call it Cinderella because they were down and out at the beginning, right? They had a lot of time to recoup. We'll give them that, but still, and they weren't looking anywhere near this stature. Yeah,
Mueller specifically too, because he had lost his starting position. For a couple of weeks or even a couple of months if it wasn't, and he came back and he took over towards the end, so it was awesome.
I think the year prior he didn't do that well in the stat sheet. But again, they had Kovac and they didn't have the right playing. Yeah, exactly.
I just love the raw emotion with Lewandowski. As soon as the final whistle blew, he went down to his knees and started bawling his eyes out.
Yeah, because that was his first one, right?
His first one, because the last time he went to the finals, he lost to his current team when he played for Dortmund. So it feels good now to be on the winning end for him, especially after an outstanding season. I know Anthony has the stats in front of him on the doc sheet, but how many goals he got?
We all know how well he did this season, but let's do a little reminder of what he did now that the season is done.
There we go.
46 games, 55 goals, and 10 assists. Top scorer in Bundesliga, the DFB Pokal, and the Champions League.
I'm going to speak for all of us here. I don't care that the Ballon d'Or was cancelled.
He's the uncrowned champ.
He is the champion and the Ballon d'Or champ. I don't care. Ballon d'Or 2020 is Robert Lewandowski.
Yeah. Season of his life.
No, literally. He played his heart out.
You saw at 33 years old? Is that
32?
32 years old.
He still has
quite incredible.
Yeah.
And even you saw him running out today, and the way he was running too. You can't tell he's 32 years old if you don't tell somebody he's 32.
This guy's 32. Yeah,
there's no fucking way after watching that game.
And back when he had his slump, when he took 3 weeks not to get a goal in Bundesliga, then as soon as he broke his slump, scored a hat trick right away. Then scored 2 consecutive 2-goal games. Right. You need your big guys to step up, and Lewandowski stepped up from the beginning. He was one of the front runners to really boost up the morale of the team, because that's what your team looks at. They look for your leader to show up and just kill it, and then other players now start getting motivated, and you saw.
I just want to give a huge and special shout out to Alphonso Davies, being the first Canadian player to reach a Champions League final and being the first Canadian player to win the Champions League. So congratulations to him. Yeah. We've been raving.
And also the youngest player to play in the Champions League player.
At 19 years old. I was
praising this kid since game 1.
We've been raving about this guy since day one, since Bayern Munich have signed him. Tommy, I know you're a big fan of him and Lewandowski, and you've been saying it from the start.
From day one, Alfonso.
From day one, it's just been an uphill.
And the thing is, since the preseason, he was their go-to man at left back. And I know I keep repeating myself. I said it a million times during the game. I don't know if it sounds annoying, but last season he was a Vancouver Whitecap player. And now he's on the starting 11 for Bayern Munich, one of the biggest teams in the world.
For the next 5 years.
And his first season, he wins a treble. As a teenager, he was it's outstanding.
He's the best left back in the world.
Right now. And how crazy is it for him? I know, you're 19. Wild. Last year, you're playing in the MLS, and now you won everything. You're 19 years old.
You're not even legal around the world in some places.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is also the first time I saw other left backs around the world take notice right away, the way they are now, especially with social media. Like guys like Marcelo Robertson as well too.
Oh yeah,
he's like, there's some things that he does that I can't do, and he was saying it like that, and it was crazy to see a 19-year-old like that getting praise from some of the best left backs in the world. So
he's the respect between each other.
Absolutely.
I mean, social media has its downs, but it also has its ups.
And after winning today, he's officially on top of the world, and I hope that he stays humble.
Oh man.
He stays focused.
Yeah.
And that after tonight's partying and after tonight's celebration, he's looking for the next one.
I think George even mentioned it. His girlfriend's in the women's Champions League final too, right?
Yeah, but she plays for PSG.
Bro, that's
ironic.
It's actually crazy.
It's kind of ironic too. Yeah.
Her too. She's a Canadian international.
Is she?
Yeah. Both of them.
So kudos
Power
to
couple,
both of
man.
them. Yeah,
Power
exactly.
couple in the soccer world, absolutely.
Power couple, man.
Absolutely.
Just a little bit on the downside. Boateng did get subbed off. He did suffer like some sort of injury. Seoul came in and replaced him, but I think this is going to be the last that we see of Jerome Boateng in a Bayern Munich sweater. Where do you guys think he'll go?
Well, first thing, he's had a great career at Munich, so I think he's going to leave with his head held high. In terms of where he'll go, I was always under the impression that he was going to go to the PL.
Back to the PL,
a team like Arsenal who might need someone like that.
Okay.
But now that they've recruited, that we'll get to that after. I honestly can't tell you where I think he'll go. I have no clue. Right now, I can't even think of a club who needs him right now.
Who knows?
Dortmund.
Maybe
Dortmund?
No, but he wouldn't.
Well, the
Why not?
Hummels went.
Yeah, exactly.
Hummels went back and forth.
Yeah, but still.
And they
But
need
let's
help at the
say
back.
let's say
I find it
Dortmund.
fucking hard to go to your rival team. I know Hummels did it. I know Götze did it, but I wouldn't.
Lewandowski did it.
What?
He went
went
for
to
Dortmund.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm not going back and forth. Hummels and
is the
Götze
only-
did
yeah.
it. No, Götze
Götze
did it too.
did it
I think
also.
he's just saying that it's possible.
Yeah.
Well, it's he's in Germany. He would stay in Germany, right? He's in the second best team in Germany, and they absolutely need help in the back.
How old is Boateng?
34.
That's the thing. If I'm
33,
Dortmund,
34.
I'm not going after an old defenseman.
Yeah,
again.
but you're going after an experienced defender. Same idea with Chelsea and Thiago, right?
I would take Boateng. I'm just spinning fucking theories here. I would take Boateng in Dortmund and interchange him in Hummels. You know,
He's turning 32 in about
That's
a week.
not bad.
for a
Yeah.
center
And
back,
guys,
man, he doesn't need to run.
Let's
too
be
much.
honest here. He was starting for Bayern in the last 3 games that I watched him in the Champions League, and he looked pretty decent.
Very good. Very good,
Decent.
actually.
If you ask me, he was the weakest link out of the team.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for even though he still played pretty decent, he was definitely the weakest link.
But my point
And-
was
and
just
like-
Besides Perisic.
Like, let's say, like if you were to rate all the players out of 100, everybody was like 98. He was 95
Yeah.
okay.
or 90,
Yeah.
and still 90 out of 100 is good.
I'm just trying to say that he still has it, and he still has what it takes to play in the top
100%.
5 leagues. So whoever picks him up,
But maybe he can take
Personally-
up. Yeah, go ahead.
Personally, because I don't know what's happening with Chris Smalling, but I would see him at Roma. To be
okay.
honest with you, because I don't know. I mean, even if this Smalling decides to stay with Roma too,
That's a good shout.
or whatever agreement
Yep.
they come across between the two teams, to have them two together will be pretty.
Absolutely,
pretty solid,
absolutely.
you know?
That's
I was
nice
gonna,
to tell.
I was gonna say before you guys are. I know we're gonna talk about it after in transfers, but I would say Chelsea was gonna go after him. But now rumors are Thiago Silva going.
Yeah,
But I would have said Boateng would have been a perfect fit for you guys. I thought if a team really needs that leader in the back, but that's before Thiago Silva was rumored in to go. So now you're gonna get your leader, you're gonna get your veteran, your solid player in the back. But I would have thought you guys would go after Boateng, 32 years old, and he's still playing very well.
very well, but also like injury prone. Like he has
Injury prone, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
That's
know-
the same thing. That's what I'm saying with Dortmund.
Yeah.
Dortmund have to go after a solid defenseman that
Honestly-
you know is there.
Honestly, I thought like he was not a lot older. I thought he was like 34, 35. I would have just like hung up the boots, call it quits, retire on a
Some
high.
guys aren't ready to do that. Look at Thiago Silva.
For sure.
Thiago Silva could have done that right now, but he's
Yeah.
not ready to go yet.
True, very true, very true, very true, very very true.
Just want to say something on PSG's side before we leave the
Oh,
finals.
I was gonna get into PSG. I wanted to speak a little bit about a PSG.
For me, I think you mentioned it before. Very disappointing. The front three. Marquinhos and
Yeah.
the whole back four, besides the right back. What's his name?
Kerr.
Keurig.
So we were calling him Keurig the whole game. Well, I was, and everyone just kind of caught on to it. But I think the pronunciation is Kerr.
Yeah.
But anyways, Neymar in that second half,
Just
very
wasn't-
disappointing.
Just wasn't happening.
Not only that, I know like we shouldn't talk crap about him, but Mbappe too did not show up to play.
No,
His
and
crosses
he
were
could
off.
He could take the blame as
His
well.
runs were off. His positioning were off.
But I think the major disappointment or the major part that kind of failed
The turning
on
point.
PSG's part was the midfield.
Yeah.
There
And the
was
changes that Tuchel made, I think, really affected them.
Yep.
Because
Well,
they were trying to transition from like defense to forward, and there was no middle to
midfield.
bring up the ball.
Yeah.
And also the Bayern Munich's midfield is just like on another level too,
And
with Thiago and Goretzka,
And you commented right away the second he took off Herrera, who's their box-to-box midfielder.
who was having a very good game.
very good
very
game.
good game.
Compared to his colleagues, definitely was having a decent game.
Yeah,
I find the turning point was as soon as they took off Di Maria.
that's
Like if the guy's not in,
another player that was playing fantastic.
but if the guy's not injured, don't take him off. That's your scoring threat. That's your guy that's gonna make the beautiful passes into the box,
create
the crosses.
something, yeah.
And another mistake is, before you get to your point, Tony,
go.
is why you bring on Choupo-Moting? I know he scored that one goal, but now they have him as he's the guy to go to bring on to score. I know me and Antonio shat on Icardi a lot, but at that point, like Anthony said, when he's in the box, Icardi scores that. Moting, he doesn't have that scoring touch to really turn your body and seal the deal. I find it wrong that Icardi did not come on.
It was a very poor decision. I agree 100%.
Very, man.
I think all his changes were very poor. Taking off Ander and Di Maria, which were arguably they were the only players for the offense, the transition from defense to offense. Because, like I said, Neymar wasn't there and Mbappe either.
Yeah. And I think I was
And
going
then
to
he
pick...
takes off both of them. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was a poor decision. I mean, the guy scored 29 goals in Serie A. He knows how to put it in,
Yeah.
especially in that position, the 6-yard
man.
box too. And it adds an extra scoring threat, like you said,
man.
and it forces the Bayern defense to put their eyes elsewhere instead of just on Mbappe and Neymar, which creates a lot of space for Icardi too. So, which eventually could lead to goals. Another bad decision was him. I'm also very biased, but I
was
think
gonna say
that
what you were about to say.
should have started.
Yeah.
It's fine that he didn't, but he brought him on way too late as well. Because the guy, he plays as a regista, holding mid, but he's also able to play Tuerca Clarista as a cam and basically be that transition player, at least one transition midfielder to fucking bring it from defense to offense, because he had, like you mentioned, zero of that. His vision, his control was crazy the moment he came on. That one turn that led to that Choupo-Moting chance. Yeah. It was him that did a nice turn in the mid. Just a little bit of creativity that was not there.
That was lacking.
There was no vision. There was zero dynamic in the mid, you know.
Yeah.
And Goretzka and Thiago fucking ate them, man.
Yeah.
They did have a lot of chances though. There were chances on both ends. Choupo-Moting too, like missing that stupid chance in the box.
Neymar. Then Mbappe in the box.
But Neuer did come big.
I was just gonna say,
yeah.
don't forget, Neuer made some nice saves too.
Neuer did come big, and I think an experienced goalkeeper like him on big games,
It paid off, bro.
It shows and it pays off. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Cool. So I guess we're ready to move on. I mean, once again, congratulations to Bayern Munich, 2019-2020 champions of every title they could possibly get.
Yeah.
And we'll see what's going to happen. All right. We'll jump into Europa League. I know we haven't spoken about it a lot, but it was the final 2 days ago with Inter Milan and Sevilla. And Sevilla catching I believe, their sixth title.
Yep.
Europa League
Vamos.
title. Winning 3-2. Lukaku scoring a brace.
Hat-trick.
No.
Lukaku scored one goal, and then Godin scored the second goal.
Oh, true.
It was,
My mistake.
Luke de Jong that got
Luke
the
de
brace.
Jong got
Jong
the brace.
got the brace,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for Lukaku because
That's what I was about to say. That's the joke.
he did end up scoring in his own net.
Unfortunate.
Really sucks to be an Inter Milan fan because they've had highs, but their lows have been really tragic.
It just sucked because it was late in the game and he was having a good game.
Yeah.
So it kind of just deflated the team, and once that happened, that was the third goal and the winning goal. So that just kind of changed everything towards the end.
Take nothing away from the bicycle kick from Costa,
Absolutely.
center back from Sevilla.
Diego Carlos.
Carlos.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said Costa.
Who by the way gave up a penalty in the quarters, semi, and finals.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Diego
what a way
Carlos.
to
And
redeem
he
himself,
was
man.
extremely emotional after the game because of things like that.
Yeah.
Some of the mistakes that he's made on the race to the final. And
they still pulled through.
And he's the one who ended up winning the game for them. So for me, that was it was very nice to see for him. Nice moment.
Yeah, man. I'm so happy for Sevilla. Honestly, if there was any team that deserved Europa League, I mean, they have won it for a sixth time, but it was definitely Sevilla. They were a solid team the whole year throughout La Liga. Obviously, it's very tough to compete against the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid in La Liga when you don't have the budget. But for them to get a trophy, a pretty big one, a European trophy, it says a lot. And honestly, I want to congratulate Lopetegui as well, the coach for Sevilla, because this guy the past 2 years had a very tough time in his career. He got sacked by Spain right before the World Cup final in 2018. Got hired because he got hired and signed a contract with Real Madrid, only to be sacked by them 4 months later. So he passed a tough time in the papers, everything. Everybody was bashing him, the decisions he made. And now, best way to redeem himself, getting a title with Sevilla.
But that's why I love the idea of the Europa League, because it gives chances to the clubs like Sevilla who can't compete with the giants like Barcelona, Real Madrid, etc. So seeing them lift a European trophy, which is like a second place to like the Champions League, it's really nice to see.
Yeah, and they get to face Bayern Munich for the Super Cup in a month. So
exactly.
It's cool, man.
It's going to be nice to see.
That's I totally forgot about that. That it's very true. So I can't wait for that game.
It's the sixth time that they win it, which I also want to bring up another stat too, that a Spanish team has won either the Champions League or Europa League in 10 of the last 12 years.
So we're always there. The Spaniards are always there. That's all I have to say.
They know their football. And also, I mean, to go off what George said too, I mean, Inter fans have a lot to look forward to. I mean, they couldn't get it done. It was even the summary of the season in Serie A that they had it there, but that finishing touch wasn't there. They had a really good first half. Both teams were just back and forth.
It was a good game.
It was a lot of just full-out attack. It was really sick. But then I guess Lopetegui changed his tactics around when they got the lead, and they weren't able to lock it down. And
But Conte too, you could say the same thing as Tuchel for PSG. He did some weird changes, late decisions.
Yeah.
At one point, bro, I don't think there was one center midfielder on the pitch.
No.
Like, how do you want to transition from your
he brought Eriksson
your own
on
third
too late.
to the other third? So Eriksson, even when he came on, though, like
He was a ghost.
He did nothing for me.
No.
Nothing.
The three guys that he brought on at the same time, Moses was horrible when he came on, and he was supposed to be the guy that was supposed to change the outcome of the momentum, but he was horrible every time he touched the ball.
Repeat that to yourself. Moses
is
supposed to change the outcome.
Yeah.
You don't rely
Guaranteed.
on a guy like Moses.
Guaranteed.
I'm sorry to say.
Guaranteed.
It's just it's just.
But because
it's
of
his personal favorite.
But because of Conte's tactics, he always leans on that right wing back to be the driving force and make the cross in. Every time Moses touched the ball to start that, he would lose it or he'd make a bad pass.
That's why you're going to see Hakimi this season.
Right.
Well, we'll see.
But
Get into
this
it.
leads to something that we were going to discuss and bring up. So we'll segue into that, is that Antonio Conte might not be the Inter manager next season.
Which is nuts.
So there is a huge chance that because he's meeting with the president this week to discuss his future, there is a chance that he will not be the manager, depending on what they decide.
And let's get this straight. This is because of his own decision, correct?
That is mutual. It's going to be a mutual decision.
I think we mentioned it a couple of episodes ago, but he signed 1 year or 2 years? What was the deal?
I think it was 2.
Maybe it was 2.
I can't remember. I'm sorry.
either.
But anyways, whatever.
I think it was 2, and judging on the first season kind of thing, what they were going to do.
I think it was okay their first season. I mean, like, don't forget, he's still getting to know some of his players, right? Also, Lukaku had the best season of his career.
Massive shout out.
So that's definitely to Conte's doing as well.
He brings the best out of a lot of strikers.
Yep.
When you look at his track record,
Yep.
Diego Costa comes into mind right away with Chelsea, right?
Anybody from Juve that you think that he was really like standoutish on the forward side?
Mirko Vucinic. that was
No, but that just goes to show. You know what I mean?
That was when we were in our struggles, right? That's when he was the first coach that not broke, but he was the first Juve coach that started that winning streak that we are on now. And we were struggling since we came back from Serie B. Lack of players. We had Vucinic and Alessandro Matteri as our starting forwards, and now we have Ronaldo on our team. So,
and just to continue the praise, I remember seeing a quote from Moses right before the game had started. I saw it on Twitter where he said that all the Inter players want to win it for him, specifically for Conte. So he had the locker room So if he does leave, it's not from the players. It's not from a red from the players. I think it's really from
Him and the board.
him and the board that are having a lot of issues.
Yeah, and apparently he's gotten a threat. His family has gotten a threat where they received apparently a letter in the mail with a bullet inside.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
But like,
So,
why?
yeah,
For what? For leaving or for staying?
For joining.
Oh, for joining. Okay,
And
it's a bit extreme
Yeah, man, what the fuck?
for soccer.
it's very good fellas like, but that's why if he has his reasons, I mean, and also apparently the board doesn't fully support him of I guess the vision he wants to go and bring Inter to, because I want to basically say that, bro, you had a 6th season, man. Either way, you
Yeah.
finished 2nd place, a point behind Juve. You went to the Europa League final and were very close to winning as well.
It was a close game. It was a great game.
All he was missing was a couple of pieces to finish that game.
Be patient, man. A lot of good things coming towards Inter's way.
Well, I think they were expecting silverware right off the bat first season.
Which you
because
shouldn't.
It's very unrealistic.
Well, but
Come on, man.
what do you mean though? He's done it before though. That's why.
But
first
they didn't
season.
have the squad ready. You know what I mean? They didn't have the squad ready.
He had his squad ready mid-season after that second transfer window. And even at that, he was still kind of complaining like we mentioned before.
I guess, but
It's tough. Where they were, George.
100%. No, I get it, 100%. But Inter were probably looking at him saying this guy can pull silverware, and we want it done right away, kind of thing.
I know what you're saying though, because the second the final ended and the whistle was blown, one of the announcers mentioned the 9-year drought continues, and they're constantly waiting to get a trophy. They're just
Yeah.
The last
every
trophies
year.
they got were with Mourinho, right?
Yep.
I
And,
believe
That's
so.
what they're saying. 9-year drought apparently. So.
2010.
I believe so. I'm only saying this because when Conte came into Chelsea, he won the Premier League right away, first season off the bat.
It doesn't
And
look
it's a-
like that sometimes.
It's
no.
it's a big thing though. So they're looking at this if he can win the Premier League, which is a very difficult title to attain, they're probably he could probably do the same
I think it's also safe to say that your Chelsea side at that time was way stronger than the Inter side.
Yeah, you
no
can't compare
comparison.
both teams.
But you know what I'm saying? He had shit to work with there.
Juve was a bit of a wow. 'Cause we had our D, we had our GG in the back, but
Everything else?
because like I said, he's able to turn players into incredible players.
Yeah, I think JC had made a comment when he was featured. I think he said
Jaccarini,
Jaccarini, he makes him look like
Yeah.
Messi
In
apparently.
the Euro 2012, it was amazing. We had a really weak Italy side, and he fucking
Bro, they made it to the finals.
so.
So look, we're gonna find out next week what the final decision is. But personally, just to end off, I really hope he stays because he finally got a player like Hakimi who can really drive his entire tactic system to the T. So he could be that driving force, and he could be the change that they need to finally get some silverware.
And I feel bad for him because if he does leave, where is he gonna go? I don't see a team now that's big enough for him to be like, let me take over.
There's no rumors yet on that, so we're gonna need to wait on that and see
So-
what happens.
Do we know who would replace him?
We do know that though.
Yeah.
It would be Allegri.
Allegri.
That this is from Fabrizio Romano himself.
100% Allegri.
It would be Allegri.
Okay, so
Or sorry, let me use the words that he used. Allegri would be the favorite to replace Conte.
That's what I was gonna get to.
Yeah.
So if he were to leave, Allegri is the favorite to replace.
So
Antonio Conte.
so I think we can agree that they're in good hands regardless.
yeah.
But I personally think that Conte needs that extra season to really
but
drive that.
it's like, do you scrap what you just started, or do you kind of build from what you already
No,
have?
but that's the thing. It's like why?
What's the point of
why
restarting all the time?
You just
Yeah, I
did
know.
that. You know what I mean? Like with Conte, that was the whole point of the thing was that you're starting a new project. You spent all that money on guys like Lukaku. You brought in Alexis, big names. You know what I mean?
Ericsson, Moses.
Yeah.
Ericsson, Moses. You
I
know,
think he was the one that brought De Vrij in.
De Vrij was there from before, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think so. I can't remember. But anyways,
But still, though, it's still a project, and he needs more time to work on it. So that's just my thing on
Yeah,
it.
you can't give him a one-season quitter thing. Like, oh, you didn't win? Okay, bye. No, you're not getting any financial backing.
Yeah.
It's not right for him.
So before we leave the Europa League final, I just want to give a couple of shout-outs to the Sevilla side. Number one is the goalie who took over Vasilik's position, Bono, born in Montreal, Quebec. Shout
Yep.
out. Final
Shout out.
formation. Let's go. Another Canadian
Absolutely.
in another major final. Very proud thing to be, very good thing to be proud of. Even though I think he plays for the Moroccan side, but still, he has Canadian citizenship, you know. Jesus Navas, big for him. It's been a while. I think since his first couple of seasons with Sevilla that he got.
Trust me, he was extremely emotional after the game as well.
Extremely emotional.
Yeah.
Kind of
super well.
sucked that when he raised the title, he got bombarded.
I'm
and I was
surprised-
pretty pissed to see that.
I thought I was the only one that realized that, but you see it right away, so it was crazy.
And both center backs for Sevilla, I think they're going to go for top dollar, and they're going to have a lot of teams hounding them. So Carlos is 27 years old. I think he has a pretty high transfer value. And Koundé, excellent center back. Excellent, 21 years old. So watch out for these two.
Upamecano.
They're going to go for top dollar.
That's if
Not
they want
this
to get rid of
season
him.
and next season.
That's if they want to get rid of him, but
Bro, when you have a team knocking on your door for a center back 40-50 mil,
Yeah,
you're
you
getting
take
rid
A
of
team
them.
like Sevilla.
Exactly.
tough times too.
You don't say
Sevilla
no to
doesn't
that.
have a big budget either, you know. They
You don't say
depend
no
on
to
their budget depends on their wins, right?
Yeah.
So
100%.
Good point.
All right, we're gonna move right along to transfers. Transfer market has been very, very busy. We'll go right away with PSG, like we were saying before. Thiago Silva saying that this is his last game with PSG, and he's looking to join a new club. Chelsea are looking like
The favorites.
the favorites for this on a free transfer, and I think a 2-year contract.
Chelsea are just winning the market, man. Again, another very smart transfer. We've said this countless times before. He's an experienced leader, and he's exactly what they need in their young squad.
But if you're a player and you see what Lampard did with the squad he had this season, and you see the other players coming into the squad, you want a piece of that cake, that Chelsea cake, 100%. You tell your agent, I want to be on that team.
And Chelsea are gonna
It's looking
are gonna
like
pay
a
the
good
wages.
project, man.
And I like how Antonio worded that, because I had read somewhere from a credible source on Twitter that his agent specifically offered him to Chelsea. So that's where that that's where that transfer to Chelsea came from.
And we're going to pour a bit more champagne.
Let the celebrations continue.
Yes, sir.
But yeah.
Yeah, because this is wonderful news for Chelsea. I mean, on a 2-year deal, he is
35.
he's 35,
Yeah.
going on 36. It's a little older, but
it's only a 2-year.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fantastic, man.
But on a free transfer, I ain't complaining. Somebody with a lot of experience in the back is something that we were lacking and something that we need. On a free transfer, I'm not complaining.
And you needed
Short-term
that-
goal, it's perfect.
And you needed that wall in the back. That guy who's going to be there, stop everything, command the back.
Command
four,
the
which you
back
did
four,
not
yeah.
have that.
It's captain.
Yeah,
It's more to get the young kids in line, man.
100%.
Just in case they get too excited about some things or whatever. Just
Yeah.
Like
keeps,
Aspie
he
needed
keeps them
help.
in check, man.
Aspie needed help with his leadership. Like
Yeah, but there's only so much you can do playing right back or left back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, anyways, it's just been the story for Chelsea, like we said. Just they need a center back, and I think this is a pretty good fit. Short term, long term, no. Short term, this
Yeah,
is the
100%.
solution. And yeah, so more Chelsea news. Ben Chilwell is getting closer to signing a contract with Chelsea, and they're looking at £45 million plus add-ons. That's the word on the street. I guess they're gonna finalize the deal by next week.
You don't seem too excited about that there,
Listen,
Georgie.
you know what? At first they wanted 80. All right? So now they're looking ballpark between 45 and 50, which is not bad considering 80. But for a wing back, a left back, or a right back, it's a lot of money. Now, do I favor it? No, I would have easily gone for either Tagliafico or maybe Alex Telles, somebody cheaper, younger, or whatever.
Reguilon
Or
also.
Reguilon, who had a very fantastic run with Sevilla
Speaking
this
of
year.
Sevilla,
Yeah.
I would have really much preferred that, but I have to give him a chance. I can't shoot him down right away. I have to see what he does if the signing goes through.
Under Lampard as well.
Under
It's a
Lampard
different
too.
Coach.
And maybe it goes back to that EPL rule where you need a minimum of English players on the squad. You know, maybe they were looking at that factor as well. So
100%. So I'm not crazy. I'm not like screaming. I'm jumping for joy, but I'm gonna see. I'm gonna give him a chance.
That's fair.
So I am sticking to that. And
But we're like you, especially all of us at the table. We haven't seen much of Ben Chilwell. From what I've seen from my own personal experience watching him, he's not like great,
you're buying the potential at that point,
but
right?
you're buying the potential.
there you go.
So that's what we'll leave it at.
yeah. All right, Arsenal being very busy too. They grabbed another center back, Gabriel Magalhaes. If I said that wrong or right, I don't.
From Lille.
From Lille. He's Brazilian, right?
Yeah.
He's Brazilian.
Yeah.
Brazilian left-footed center back, and contract ends June 2025. Good signing for them. I mean, it's something that they desperately need. Because they need to fix that back four just as much as Chelsea need to fix that back four.
Oh, 100%. But just to mention also, this guy, he had a choice between Arsenal and Napoli, and he himself chose Arsenal. So that speaks to me a lot about his conversation with Arteta, and maybe what Arteta was really like selling him on this whole idea of we're going to make, Champions League football or whatever he told him.
We know what Arteta's selling point is. Willian said it, and it was a bit laughable. You're the one who retweeted it, no?
Yeah, when he's like, he said win.
We're gonna make Champions League the first season, and we're gonna win it the second season.
That's hilarious.
Or within the 3 years, essentially. But look,
win it.
Those
are big words.
I'm not gonna say anything.
But again, you got to sell these guys something, right? Or else they're not gonna come.
Yeah,
Arteta, he believes his words, man.
Hey, if there's anyone to bring them there, it is Arteta, though. I'll give them that.
Yep.
He's a mastermind.
And he proved it with the last
FA
remaining
Cup, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, you got the FA. It's an upward hill for Arsenal, but it's gonna be a tough upward hill.
So just to remind the listeners is that Saliba, who was William Saliba, I think is his name. He was someone that they had bought 2 years ago. He's a center back. They had loaned him out to Saint Etienne, and now he's back. So he's gonna be their starting center back next to this guy Gabriel Magalhaes. So they have a new back four to look at with Tierney and Bellerin, who I think they're actually going to keep. So that with Leno there, that looks like a nice back four compared to fucking.
I like Bellerin. He's fast. He's not the best defender,
He's
but
young, though.
he's still at a prime age.
He's like 25 now.
Tender.
Maybe a little older, just a bit older, maybe
It
26,
doesn't matter.
27.
He's still mid-20s,
Yeah.
regardless. Experience in the PL is what you need. You can't go with a full new back four, right? Maybe
25.
the center backs.
He's 25, you see.
Okay.
You only think that because he started so young.
Yeah.
That's
for
why.
sure. And he was starting from a young age.
He's done
Yes,
that for
and then
a
he
long
got
time.
injured last season, I think, or this season, and he wasn't playing as much, and he wasn't the same as we saw
Look,
him for his ACL.
This signing for me tells me a lot about Arteta and tells me how he's able to sell these guys
He's
on.
pulling.
He's
pulling players.
man. That's it.
And another thing I want to mention, he's being very price cautious too.
Absolutely.
He's not.
He has no choice.
Yeah, he has no
literally has no
choice, but
choice.
still, he could be using any other, he could be using that excuse like any other manager, saying, "Oh, I need money for this player and that player."
And I'm pretty sure he's not done after this guy too. I'm pretty sure there's something else coming this week.
No, but that's why in the position that they're in, I don't think they can afford to buy
Exactly.
big name players.
Unless they sell some of their other guys too.
That and the board is probably like, show me results first, then I'll give you the money.
Again, yeah.
100%.
So David Luiz grabbing some bench. match?
Absolutely.
Which
This fly is about to catch
no, that's
some
what I
hands,
said
bro.
before we turned on the camera. It was right here, man, the whole
Holy
time.
Fuck, bro.
But to say with Alex, with David Luiz, I know we think he's garbage and all that, but I think he's going to be starting still
Okay.
because he's.
For
but
real? You
Yeah,
think he's going to be
I
starting?
think
the only
so.
reason why I'm saying is because I know we said this a lot, but I know we think he's garbage, but he's somehow the fans really love him and the board really love this guy, so I think he's going to be starting to start. But once they see he's going to slip up, which we all know he is, they're going to bench him, bring in the young kid that Alex said, and that's when you're
One
going
of
to see
those
the difference.
two guys, the guy from
It's Saliba.
Saliba and this guy that they just signed, one of them are going to fight it out for the spot, and David Luiz is going to have it.
because you can't start him off right away and sign an
I really don't think so.
I know it sounds crazy, but I
No.
think that's what's going to happen.
I even know
Okay.
it sounds crazy, but it's,
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see.
We're 2-3 weeks away anyway, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Anyways, moving right along to some Serie A. Free agent Jose Callejon is very close to joining Villarreal.
La Liga.
What?
He said City, yeah.
Well, he's from.
Oh,
When I say he's leaving Syria.
But he was a free agent.
Tap him back.
Tap him back.
He was a
bro.
free-
He deserves the tap.
Leaving
all right, bro.
Syria.
No, because I have a little Serie A section here. That's why.
Okay, go for it.
So, I mean,
He's leaving from Napoli, Serie A.
I'm
He's going to La
Villarreal.
The
Liga.
conversation has
Villarreal.
already ended. It's okay. If you want to get technical, he was a free agent and then he's signing for Villarreal.
Whoa.
But just to kind of throw that
Okay,
back.
but what team did he play for?
Napoli before.
Okay, thank you. All right.
I guess I'll go fuck myself, guys.
Okay, yeah. So, okay, here. How about this? Pepe Reina, who's from Aston Villa. Okay, he's going to Lazio for 2 years. Contract done deal.
That's a great backup keeper
That's a
right
good
there
depth.
for Strakosha. They didn't have a good one. So it makes
No, they
sense
didn't.
for...
This guy's played for a lot of big clubs. He's been around.
yeah.
And
right now he's solidifying his role as a good backup.
Depth
keeper.
move. That's what it is.
Look,
good backup keeper and a good leader
Yeah.
probably in the locker room. He seems like a solid guy. I know you always
saw
talk,
him. You saw him in the party videos with all those Spain wins.
Yeah, I know you talk about him a lot, and you only say positive things about him.
Yeah, in
Guys-
2012 they took him just because he was such a great motivator in the squad.
Yeah.
in the last 2 weeks, they went after David Silva and Pepe Reina. So for me, that tells me the board is realizing how big Lazio is going to get as a club in either, not just in Serie A, but I think in Europe as well. So they need some of these pieces to kind of fill that squad and fill the depth.
Well, Anthony said, yeah, exactly. Just Anthony's been saying from the beginning, Lazio's starting 11 is great, but when you bring on depth, they don't have any on the bench.
And if you're going to start playing all kinds of cup games, you're
Yeah,
going to
man.
need to use some of these extra guys that you have on your team.
Yeah.
That's it. He's going to play the cup matches, the domestic cup matches. He's going to be a great guy in the locker room. A lot of experience. He's going to guide Strakosha, who's 25 years old.
Who's been fantastic
He's
as
been
of
really
late.
good. He's been very, very good. What nationality is he? He is Greek.
No,
Strakosha?
Albanian.
Same difference.
Hey, whoa.
It's
We got three of them
yeah,
here,
yeah,
Ant.
yeah,
We're
right
outnumbered,
here.
bro. We're
Yeah.
outnumbered.
Jackass.
I know
Keep
the
your mouth shut.
I
Ant.
know the flag is red, and it has like a black bird in the middle or some shit.
Born Athens, Greece.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
Jesus
but it's a
Christ.
joke. Relax. There's a lot of Albanians that are in Greece.
Yeah.
But, so he's
Oh,
probably.
I didn't take offense to it. I couldn't care less.
He's probably a mix of Albanian and technically.
He's European, Mediterranean. We'll just leave it at
Greek as
that.
well.
And now you can go back to what you said before,
Which was?
the Jose Callejon news. Because I'd like to talk about that a bit too.
Yeah.
What about it?
So I'll take over.
Wow,
It seems. So free agent Jose Callejon is close to joining Villarreal.
Okay, and
So Villarreal, for me, they have a very nice project going on with Unai Emery, who's the coach there now.
Good evening.
Which I don't think we mentioned that before.
Yeah, we did.
I think
We
we
did?
did. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
we did.
As soon as it happened.
We'll
But-
remind you guys again.
Exactly, and I just want to remind everybody some of the players that he's bringing in. So right now, he has Danny Parejo, Coquelin, Francis Coquelin,
Yeah.
and now it's not official yet, but it's close. Jose Callejon, so they're gonna build a nice squad there.
They're bringing in boys,
Yep.
guys with a lot of experience, guys who could still play. Danny Parejo, just for an example, is a great replacement for Santi Cazorla.
yeah.
Say
I have a
properly,
question
Antonio.
for you specifically, though. Do you think that with these changes, they can make a push for top 4, or are they still a top 6 club?
I think Sevilla has still got my number, but
Okay.
hey, you never know.
Europa League at least?
Yeah, for sure. They could definitely make a push for Europa. You could definitely add Sociedad in the mix as well. And
With David Silva now too.
yeah, exactly. And I
Real
don't know.
Betis too, man.
I just have a feeling Atletico Madrid is going to drop off this year if they keep Simeone.
Simeone.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make. It's a bold statement, but if they keep on getting another 15 ties, bro,
You might just hold top 3.
you think so?
Yeah.
I don't even think they're going to make top 4. Atletico.
A lot of question marks are on Atletico.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
100%, 100%. All right, Timue Bakayoko.
First name was needed.
Yes,
Very
it's
needed.
looking like he's going to AC Milan, loan and option to buy, and I think it's a price tag of 35 mil. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think so.
35 mil plus add-ons.
That's too much money for him.
Dude, I think he's still a Chelsea player technically.
Yes.
When's the last time you heard that name instead of like the first
Dude,
time?
the
I've
last
heard that
time
name
he-
since you just said it.
I think the last time he played with Chelsea was when Conte signed him.
yeah, that's what I was about
the
to
first
say. Yeah.
first season with Conte, which is
And how much did they just pay? AC?
No, it's not. I think it's loan with option to buy.
with option to
Yeah,
buy.
but what's the
it's
price
35.
tag? Bro, are you kidding me, man?
But that's only in a year and a half, 2 years time. So there's
Yeah,
time.
until June
He has time
2021.
to prove himself, and I will mention that he absolutely loves AC Milan, and he's been very outspoken about that. So look, it's maybe a match made in heaven. We don't know yet. We're gonna see.
Yeah, he's loved Milan. He's played decently well with them too,
Yeah.
and He's there to bolster their holding mids with Kessie and Benacer already starting.
There you go.
So he's going to be a rotational piece on that team for sure.
Yeah, because I think Kessié is at the top of his game over there.
100%.
So,
Oh, no, he's
solid, man.
yeah.
We'll see now. We'll see when the new season comes. All right. Like we've mentioned before, my Tweety departing Juventus and going to
Inter Miami.
I was gonna say Inter Milan.
No, that's what I said last
I
time.
know. Inter Miami. Juventus have decided to terminate the contracts of Khedira and Gonzalo Higuain, which is huge and which is like you've mentioned before, something that they needed to do, and I'm pretty sure you're happy about it also.
It was necessary. He's obviously not. They're not a part of Pirlo's project.
Yeah.
A change needs to be done. They're taking up a majority of the wages, especially Khedira. Thank you so much for your services. Both of them have been major contributors to our appearances in CL and our X amount of years in a row of Serie A, especially Higuain too, and he's been an amazing number 9, and I'm very curious to see who we're going to get next.
That move to buy out their contracts told me that that was their way of speaking to the fans and saying, we hear you, we know that a change is needed, and that we have maybe a little bit of too much older guys in our squad and we need a change.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for Khedira and Higuain? Does that mean they can go to another team for free?
They're a free agent right now.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, they bought out their contracts.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So like their agents are like losing battery on their phones by like 12 a day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good one,
No,
bro.
but it's very true. Very true.
Off
'Cause
the
now
ball. Yeah.
because they're a free agent, it's up to the agent of the player to go out and fucking make something happen.
And get a contract for them.
Something.
Wait.
Are there any teams linked to them by any chance?
Khedira,
Any news?
no. I mean, we've said it in the past few months ago where Higuain might go to MLS with his brother, might go back to Argentina since his mom is sick. I don't know what he wants to do, to be honest.
I think that's more up to him right now. Is he ready to continue in the top 5 leagues? That's more for him.
Higuain, no.
Hell no.
No,
see?
no. He's
Guy had one plate of pasta too many the last couple of months.
a cone.
Last
He's a
couple
cone.
months,
He's
yeah, but
just-
like overall his stats this year were really good. He just needs to get in shape. But he's
And I feel like that's been like the story of his career. Like the last part of his career is fitness has been an issue.
yeah, but still, despite him being chubs, he was still putting the ball in the back of the net. Which is
Yeah.
now like the last few months his form wasn't there at all, like 0, despite being a bit husky. That's why. So I don't know what his issue is, but he's still. I think
he needs to go to a smaller league and
Yeah.
just play.
yeah,
Just tear it up.
Yeah.
definitely not a top team in the
No.
top 5, but a mid-table whatever.
So I'll say this: if he does go to MLS now, I think we could see something there because it's a smaller league, and we can see maybe old Higuain a bit there
He will turn
because
up.
of how
Potentially
he
be
would turn it
top
up.
goal scorer. Like he'll kill it.
We'll see,
I don't know about that.
but we'll see.
Higuain in the MLS.
In MLS, I don't know, man.
Look at Vela too.
If he gets in shape,
Yeah,
like
but
Anthony said,
but Vela's in shape. Zlatan's in shape.
I'm saying Anthony said if he gets in shape and we get old Higuain
I
back.
don't know, man. I just don't see it happening with Higuain.
The thing is, an out of shape Higuain could still murk it in MLS. I know it's a dig to MLS, but he could still put up numbers in MLS.
Don't underestimate MLS anymore. That's all I gotta say. I know, like Europe and MLS, there's a huge,
different worlds,
huge gap, miles apart. But I feel like MLS is not as easy as people think.
No, I will never put that. Me and Antonio are the ones that watch MLS week in, week out with the Impact. Like we know this league perfectly. I'm just saying, Higuain coming from Juventus and tearing it up in one of the biggest leagues in the world.
But he's not tearing it up in
No,
Juventus.
I meant he was.
Was,
now he's
yeah.
going to MLS. It's two different things.
Yeah, okay.
He still got 11 goals.
All right.
11 goals in Serie A being fat translates to what? Translates to what? Over 20 goals in MLS. Easy.
I'm sure if he does end up coming to MLS, he could get.
And he has something to
20,
prove.
20.
Everyone calling him out of shape. Everyone looking down at
I
him.
don't
Fans
think
attacking
Pichichi
him.
there. I don't think Golden Boot, but he could definitely get the 12.
Well,
I don't know.
Sorry, it was 11 goals all comps.
It's
Still,
a coin toss for me.
But anyways, bottom line is I love the proactiveness by Juve. Like you said, showing us that we know we need a huge change up. We need a revolution to happen right now. Matuidi, Kadir, Higuain, Ciao.
And fast too.
I'm
Hey, man,
very
Fast. Within a week, they're
It's
gone.
the same thing like Abramovich, man. It's like he was in a way talking to you guys too. That after the ban, he took charge and Chelsea has been the biggest name in the transfer market.
Oh yeah.
After that's just my.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to compare how Juventus
how you
and
see
the
it.
board.
Yeah.
They're talking
No,
to
but
their
that's
fans
why,
right now.
similar to them too. It's an aging squad.
Yeah.
And
Gotta make changes.
Yeah, but us, we go from we're selling everybody to we're gonna keep the full first team.
That's a 1 day difference. 1 day, literally a day after he comes out.
Bartomeu didn't take his bipolar pills.
Oh, yeah, he comes out and says, yeah, all these guys are staying in the end.
What did you say? Like he.
Bro, okay, if you look, okay, they signed that kid. What was that kid's name? They signed that kid.
Pedri.
Pedri, yeah.
From second division, yeah. That's thank you for reminding
Yeah, so
me.
they signed that kid.
Very
Pedri,
good signing.
Okay, I don't know anything.
He played
about
with
this
Las
kid.
Palmas. Las Palmas killed it with Jonathan Vieira, who had him in
Had him in a couple
fantasy.
fantasy.
Okay.
He has potential and he's young.
And
so.
I see this fucking guy holding the jersey with him, mask on, and the eyes looking at two different directions. But he does wear glasses. That's one thing.
Bartomeu, yeah.
Bartomeu does wear glasses, but he wasn't wearing glasses, and his eyes were looking at two different places. This guy needs to fucking focus, all right,
Yeah.
and get fucking his team together because right now they have no idea what the fuck is going on.
And speaking of Antonio's team, we just got word now during the Champions League game that Pjanic tested positive for COVID. But now he's just going to miss preseason and he's going to be ready to come back if everything goes good.
He's gonna
It's
have
just-
to quarantine.
But it's just, they said for 15 days and let's see what goes after. So he says he's scheduled to miss the preseason, obviously. But it's just Antonio coming from he's being old to overpriced and now this happens. It's just been a snowball effect of negativity.
Bro, I really hope he proves me wrong, but I don't know. If you're getting rid of Rakitic, Pjanic is almost the same story for me, bro.
Again, it's too early to speak for
For
Barcelona
sure.
because we need to
I
see
hope he proves me wrong.
that, and we need to see some of the moves they're going to start
Pen
making
to
in the next
paper.
couple of
We need
weeks.
to
Exactly.
We need to see them being very, very proactive
Yep.
and fast because time is an issue for every club,
But
not
again,
just for Barcelona.
Again, a lot of clubs were just waiting for everything to finish. Now that Champions League is over, we should see a very
More-
active
yeah,
transfer market this week specifically.
things are gonna really speed up this
Yeah.
week.
Well, a lot of leagues, the transfer window officially actually starts September 1st
Okay.
and
There you
ends,
go.
and ends the 5th of October, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
So next Monday.
there's
officially
all
opens.
verbal agreements here and there, but I think like
Until pen to paper. Yeah.
Do you
September.
guys mind if I just let everybody know what's going on with the Messi
I was
Barca
about to
saga?
say-
yeah,
I was
yeah.
about to say the
So apparently this week, Messi came back from vacations early from Argentina to speak with Koeman, the new coach. And by the way, before I forget, Abidal is sacked officially. So
yeah.
ciao bye.
yeah, ciao bye.
They already replaced
The day
him too.
after, the Tuesday.
Yeah, right after the meeting. He didn't get sacked. Sorry, he resigned. It was his decision. Let's just call it that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Messi came back from vacation early, spoke with Koeman, and Koeman told him, "You're part of my plans. I want you on the team." And apparently, Messi said back, like, "I'm not sure about this project. I'm not sure if I want to stay with the team." So we'll see. The board really needs to pull if they really want to keep him, and they need to get their asses moving right away. We already signed, like you mentioned, the young Pedri. It's nice for the future, but we need to see we need to see the ball rolling.
Like
Big names.
live,
you
no
need
pun
right now. You guys-
intended.
But where would he go?
That's what
Oh,
I'm
Messi.
saying. Who's going to
There's
afford his
three
contract?
clubs. There's Inter Milan that want him. There's PSG and Man City. That's it.
So, right off the bat, if Conte stays at Inter, he's not going there because I don't think he fits Conte's system, and Conte wants those high like work rates, and you won't get that from Messi.
No, well, that's another thing. We don't even know if Conte's staying, right?
That's what I'm saying. I'm
So-
saying if he stays, there's no way Messi goes there. Yeah. Man City, I've said this countless times where, yes, obviously it'd be fantastic to see Messi in a Man City shirt for me personally, but I don't want that right now because I don't want to I don't want to take on that contract, and two, we got bigger fucking worries to think about, which is definitely the back four, and I would like to see pen to paper a center back signed, a left back signed, before we start worrying about maybe other positions.
But you saw he's already starting to do moves with Nathan Ake. I know it's not the center back that you want and need, but you see he's on the right path that he knows what
but
has to
again,
be
taking on a
fixed.
contract of Messi, it's like a lot.
50 million net.
That's why
Per
realistically,
year.
I don't think Inter Milan has the funds.
No.
I'm not the accountant on the team, but I'm just assuming.
What? A couple of guys from upper management that I've seen on Twitter from credible sources have said that they've always prepared for a Messi-like player to come to their team. Yeah. So apparently they're ready to sign him.
Who's this? Inter?
Inter. It's just a matter of him saying yes to them, number one, and two, having the right coach. Because like I said, there's no way he can play in Conte's system, in my opinion.
Real quick though, isn't his release clause like something absurd, like 700 million?
Yeah, but you're allowed negotiating still if the team wants to sell.
So that's the thing. So that's the big thing now, right? If Messi, like, let's say he decides he really wants to leave, Barcelona aren't gonna keep him hostage, right?
No.
You're gonna see the exact same thing that happened with Ronaldo at Real, where they'll sell him for 100 million, but nothing less, though. Yeah. Nothing less than 100.
I agree.
He's gonna go for 1 to 150. Well, especially with COVID, man, even 150 is pushing it.
But it's gonna be over 100, 100%.
But that's if he leaves, because like you said, he's still unsure.
I think he's just fondling with a lot of things in his head right now.
And I find it be a feel-good story if he goes to PSG, because everyone's talking about, Neymar, go back to Barca, reunite with them. But now imagine Messi's the one to go to him and reunite now with Neymar and Mbappe.
I'm going to speak for myself. As a Messi fan, I would not like to see him at PSG. No. That's just me, personally.
But I'm just saying, imagine the top three of Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi.
Then you would get the fucking haters saying, he went to the weakest league of the top 5. Of course, he's going to win titles.
He's joining two of the top 5 forwards in the world,
But he's going to the team that could afford him.
For me, personally, I don't see it happening at all this season anyways. Yeah. Like I said, if it's the same disaster this whole season and we, again, go trophyless, then he's going on a free transfer next year. And I wouldn't blame him.
That's the only realistic option because I don't see...
but...
I mean, also, they could use Ronaldo's fee as a comparable. Like, okay, Ronaldo went for 100 mil. I'm not paying more than 120 or whatever, 130. I
actually wanted to bring this up, and I'm pretty sure you're going to comment on it. Who's the presidential candidate for next year? What's his name? Victor Font?
For
Barca.
Font.
So something he apparently has... He's very confident that if he wins, number one, his first job is to sack Koeman. He even said word for word, I don't care if Koeman wins the treble this year. He's getting sacked, number one.
Where the hell did you hear this?
I know. No.
I remember seeing this.
And it was on Twitter. I'll share it with you. And two, he's going to sign Xavi. He's already had the talk apparently with him that if he becomes president, Xavi is the next coach. And that he's confident that if Xavi's coach, Messi will stay with them.
Now, what do you think of that?
I think if Xavi didn't come during this opening, it's because of Messi. I don't think he wants to coach Messi.
Now, after this quote, though, I'm assuming he didn't come because of Bartomeu.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a very good point as well. Because he sees the club is in shambles. He probably got word from Puyol that who stayed as sport director for like 6 months and fucked off. He probably got word from Puyol bro, buddy, don't trust this board.
I mean, hey, it could even be both.
Now, okay, let me backtrack a bit because it's also, this could be false dreams that this guy is doing to win the president election or whatever it's going to be. But he seems pretty confident. And he said right away that he's going to sack Koeman right away and sign Xavi.
That's if he doesn't get sacked before the year is up.
That's a great point, too. I didn't even think
because if he goes 0-10, bro, he's out the door, man.
He's gone.
And the reason why I think it's both, too, is that, for one, Messi is kind of uncoachable. Bartomeu was a pain in the ass. And maybe he wants a project since it's going to be his real first...
His own project.
Like a Lampard situation and coach developing players, and...
I believe that's
his reasoning behind it.
I think the Bartomeu reasoning is very plausible as well, but I really think he just wants to prove to everybody that he could do it on his own without Messi.
Without a Messi on the team or whatever, yeah.
Well, I mean, every big team needs a Messi or a top player,
All right.
And I also wanted to bring up a little debate for, I think we brought it up last episode very quickly, but now it's becoming potentially a reality as well, where the UEFA president, Alexander Seferin, who's actually a fan of the single-game knockout format.
I love it.
In the Champions League this season.
Yeah. I love it.
And he is saying that he will consider the new setup in the future.
Yes.
So I want to know what your thoughts.
Is this new setup in like a tournament style, like the World Cup, where they do it afterwards once everybody has qualified for the final stages and they go to one set location, or are they going to do it
those details haven't been released yet?
Whoever has the highest points is going to be the home team? How does it work?
Hypothetically, with those points aside, What are the thoughts behind it?
Because the thing is, with the whole aggregate system, playing home and away, you actually get to play home and away. With one knockout game, there's not really a home or away team.
And I like that. I like that because here it was in Portugal. It was one specific place,
location,
one location. I like the idea of that.
If they're gonna do it like that, I say you gotta pick a location for the finals tournament and close it within
But I like
3
that.
to 4 weeks.
It's an even field. It's not play 2 games. You play once, then the next second leg is how many weeks later. I like one shot. That's it. You show up to one game and
I love it too.
I love it,
like
man.
the single game knockout.
I'm behind it.
But at the end of the day, if it doesn't make sense, it ain't gonna make dollars. And it's all about money at the end of the day.
But I was sorry. I was going to bring that up. But the only people that would lose money in that situation would be those home clubs that would host those games.
Yeah, but here's
They're gonna figure out something in the contracts to get a percentage for sure.
But
Percentage of the tickets.
But then why would UEFA come out and say that they're thinking about doing the single game knockouts then?
Because people are saying they enjoy it, I guess.
Yeah, but if it's a money
Because
mover, then they wouldn't do it though.
Here's the thing though. Let's say whatever the Champions League this year is in Istanbul. That means from the round of 16s to the finals, all games are being played in Istanbul, and only Istanbul is going to be getting profit for the stadium.
Okay, I just kind of thought of something. I think the way he's thinking about it too is that fans are going to be back in the stadium by then, so they're going to be getting money anyways. I just thought of it now.
and also the thing is, I like it because it's better for the players. Less games to be played. It's less cause of injuries. No fatigue, no traveling. Like it's hard if a Spain team plays like an English team. You have to do that travel back and forth.
Yeah, but also this year it was a little messed up because don't forget when they are playing Champions League, they're playing season games also.
Yep,
you know what I mean.
But it's less soccer, so it's better for the athletes too, man.
And if this year was any example, we saw many injuries because of that, because of too many games played.
It's ridiculous.
Too many games in a short amount of time. Yeah. So it's a good point. I mean, I am a huge person that dislikes the away goal rule. I think it's fucking completely stupid.
Stupid.
Where, yes, a home field advantage has a huge advantage for a team. No problem. It does not. But scoring in another stadium doesn't deserve more value of a fucking goal. You know what I mean? A goal is a goal. Mm-hmm. Not to mention as well, where what I noticed in these single knockout games that it was super entertaining, nail biting. Yep. Everyone was into it, and it also gives a huge advantage for underdog teams as well to win in advance, like Atalanta, which should have won. But
well, anyways, that's another conversation.
No, I'm joking, but I find it super entertaining. Even if you're even a neutral fan of soccer, I think it's super cool.
I completely agree.
For money wise, I think that's not an issue.
I personally like the away goals, and I like the 2 legs, and I like each game that participates in the tournament having a home game each. I've always been for it. I always found that you're saying this style creates drama. I think the 2 legs creates as equal drama, if not more. Creates controversy, which is what we all love. And I don't know. I've just always been a favorite of this style now. And for me, like the only benefit I see of doing it this way is that they're going to get it done in a confined area within 1 month instead of the tournament being played during their season.
Throughout the season, yeah.
So that's the only benefit I see, but I totally disagree dropping it down to 1 game each round, but that's my own personal opinion. I find it super interesting with the 2 legs. Adds a different dynamic compared to the Euro Cup or the World Cup, which are arguably the 2 other biggest tournaments in soccer. And it gives I don't know. I just like it, man. Honestly,
I wouldn't mind the 2 legs, but just the away goal rule, I find it.
Maybe the away goal rule is just I don't know. Maybe change that rule.
But if you're having the 2 legs, it's because you're playing at home, right? And you got to keep the away rule because for me personally, it is a big thing scoring in another stadium. When you have 70,000 opposition fans screaming their heads off at you, you know.
Yeah. It does play a huge factor. But we're going to see because who knows when we're going to be allowed to be back in the stadiums to watch the games.
Well, France already started, Germany too, slowly.
And don't forget, MLS too. Now the Impact, starting the season, going to be allowing 250 people into the stadium.
That's it.
250
fans. So now you see they're slowly now going chunk by chunk.
I might as well bring this up now. Ligue 1, who came back this weekend that just passed, or this weekend.
Yeah.
They had fans in the stadium.
Exactly.
Full?
With masks on, though.
Full.
Well, it didn't look full though, but it was jammed though.
Spread out.
Yeah. So I heard now for the Impact they're starting next week. I don't think it's next week or in 2 weeks. They have their first game, and their home game now is be 250 fans in the whole Saputo Stadium.
Compared to how many does it hold? Like
20,000.
20,000. But like you see, it's
weird.
no. I know it's like you're gonna see it's be a little section. That's all. Like that's the difference from 20,000 to 250. But
it's raised numbers, man. What the hell is 250?
But it's slowly.
You're literally gonna have more staff working at Saputo Stadium than fans.
No. The thing is, but like it's slowly.
Am I wrong to think of that?
No, but you can't go right away from 0 to 100. Boom,
but 250 doesn't make sense to me either.
I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying what I heard.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's
At least
I don't
to
know.
a quarter, 25%.
That's what I'm saying.
Man.
I don't agree with it.
All with time, we're gonna see. I mean, every country and every city has its different rules with COVID.
Yeah.
You know, and there's cases that are more severe than others in different places, depending on where you go. But we're gonna see.
And by the way, I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if you guys agree, but I find the home and away. I find if one team doesn't show up first leg, and then they come on and say, "Okay, we'll get you in the second leg. Okay, watch next game. I'll get you." It gives that factor that every game you have to show up. So you're getting elite soccer every game if it's single knockout. If a team sits back, okay, don't worry, next game, we're away. We have the away goals on our side. Watch, we're going to kill you.
Yeah, like Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid, they'll score 1-1 in the away, and then the next game they'll
I don't like that. I want one game, you show up, you win. You don't show up, you're gone. It could be a top team. A top team could show up to that game and play shit. The underdog, like let's say Atalanta shows up, kills it, the big team's gone.
It's fair points on both ends. It's tough. It's like, I find it, I don't know, it's very exhilarating for that one shot.
Bro, it's sudden death soccer. It's basically whatever happens, boom.
And I agree. That was a really good point you brought up before about the last games too. That's
for an athlete, you play 38 games a season. Obviously, Serie A, I think Bundesliga plays 36. No, I'm saying you have 30. Let's say EPL 38 games plus FA plus Carabao plus Champions League for the top 4 teams. It's a lot of soccer.
But here's something I just thought of right now. Go ahead.
international break as well. Continue.
Yeah, there's that.
Bro,
too.
come on, man. That's a lot of
Here's
soccer.
something I just thought of. Okay, so they do have the two-legged games, home and away. Why don't they do that for the final?
No.
To make it this one big, like giant, just
And
George,
the final,
said
you
yourself,
could
money.
sell tickets for $1,000 each.
yeah, exactly.
George, you said yourself, money. You want that one Super Bowl game. Just like for NFL, you want that one big game.
I don't know. Anyways, we'll see with time.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see with time, and with that, I guess we're gonna wrap up season 1, episode 38. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, this was an absolute pleasure. Football wrapping up. Obviously, the Champions League finishing up. Congratulations again to Bayern Munich, and we'll be back for season 2.
I just want to say a little thing before we end it off. I wanted to thank each and every one of you for being a part of this project. Honestly, I'm surprised and so happy we made it this far. We completed a full season, and it only goes up from here, boys.
That's
Big
it.
time. Big time.
Cheers, boys.
Thank you for everyone for listening, for being
Honestly.
a part of this project, and we love you all.
And we'll be back soon. Peace.
Season 2.